Kementari runs third up here in the Randwick Guineas on Saturday, emulating exactly what we did with the horse in the spring when we ran him third up, and he was a luckless second place getter in the Caulfield Guineas. The horse couldn't have been any more impressive than what he's shown us in his first two runs this preparation.
The siege could be over. Kementari heads it off and burst clear. Kementari, Brave Song Assimilate making ground, but Kementari's off and gone to the Eskimo Prince.
We feel like he has continued just to sail ahead since that Hobartville Stakes win at Rosehill last time. The 1600 metres is going to be perfect for him this weekend, and you know, I would feel like he's going to be one of the big chances in the race. And an exciting colt if he's good enough to step up and deliver on the biggest stage in this very hotly contested Group 1. We'd like to think that Kementari would be one of the picks of the yard when he arrives on the track on Saturday, and he's just in the best shape we can have him. So we'll be very interested to see what might unravel when Kementari is able to arrive at the track on Saturday. Because he will be, we feel, one of the best presented horses in the Group 1 this weekend, and he's going to give himself every chance. You'll see the return of Vera Dean in the 1000 metre Group 2 Weight for Age Challenge Stakes at Randwick, and the colt looks an absolute beast ahead of his first up run here. If he can produce a strong performance first up, then I really think the horse is capable of being competitive in the Galaxy in a fortnight. But the most important thing is that Vera Dean gets his chance to lift his reputation by competing at Weight for Age. And whilst he trialled reasonably well last month, getting to the line nicely, we feel he's really come on again in his fitness. And I felt like his gallop this week was one of the strongest gallops he's produced in his short career so far. So Saturday is going to be a really interesting test for Vera Dean, and although he's a 3-year-old taking on some extremely seasoned sprinters, he's certainly not going to lack for any strength when he comes up against them this weekend. Gongs looks like she's improved a little bit since running in the Group 2 Silver Slipper a fortnight ago, but she really needed that run first up, we felt, and any improvement here is going to really help her as she heads towards better targets later on this campaign. There's no doubt that she's got a massive margin to try to turn around on a filly like Estijab. But if some of those horses have a little bit of an off day, then the Gongs certainly has trained well enough to give them a bit of a scare in a race like this. And it will be very interesting to see her race for the first time at Randwick. And getting to 1200 metres also looks like it's going to suit a filly with her relaxed nature. And chiming into the race for Hugh Bowman, I can see her running a good race. Tally runs second up in the Randwick City Stakes, but the horse has not really produced in his last 3 starts, and he's still quite high in the handicaps, having achieved quite a lot in his past, 2 out of his past 3 preparations. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the horse warming to better form before we get too excited about Tally. But he travels up to Sydney from Melbourne, and the reports are that he is training strongly, but there's improvement left in the horse. You see Jorda for the first time in the autumn this Saturday in the Fireball Stakes over 1100 metres at Randwick. The filly has to pay the price for her 2 stakes wins, culminating in that Group 3 there at the end of the preparation last time at Flemington. And she couldn't have been much more impressive, defeating the well-credentialed filly I Am Excited, who's going to be one of the horses to beat here in the run to the line there in the Red Roses at Flemington that day. She looks like she's returned well. We were pleased with the barrier trial we saw from the filly last month, and she's just gone ahead a little bit in her fitness, but I feel like there's still room for her to be open to further improvement down the line in her preparation. Interesting about the horse, she was able to run so strongly first up last preparation, and yet she was still delivering at the very end of her preparation. So I'd still expect her to run a really good race first up, and she should enjoy getting back to Randwick, which is somewhere she hasn't been since she was seen winning the Jim Crack Stakes on debut as a 2-year-old filly. Plaguestone looks like he's come through his lacklustre run in the Blue Diamond in good health. The poor post-race recovery is something that I think that a young horse like him can turn around quickly. And given that he has impressed us in his training since then, we feel like he's worthy of having a shot at a race like this. The colt gets Kerrin McEvoy back in the saddle for this race, and I think that with Keren knowing a little bit about him from getting him to go so well behind Written By first up in the Blue Diamond Prelude, he can turn around his fortunes, and if he runs a really strong race here on the weekend, then he certainly puts his hand up for a much bigger prize a fortnight later.